Okay, so this is Far Cry 3, PlayStation Plus, free games. Now, Far Cry 3, I have already played this, beaten it on the 360. I think I got it about a month after it came out. Money. Now, this game, I thought it's very overrated. It's nowhere near as good as everyone says it is, in my opinion. The main problem I had with it is that for the first, let's say the game is about 16 hours long. And then the first 8 hours is the first island. And then the second 8 hours is the second island. Well, here's what the game felt like to me. The first island was fun. And then the second island, it felt like they just copy and pasted. Like the whole game, like, when we got to the second island, it felt like the game had restarted and I was playing through the same 8 hours I just did. It was really, it just got really boring after, like the second island was just really boring. That was my main problem with it. Now, other than that, I still did like it. I don't think it's bad. I still like it. But I don't think it's nowhere near as good as everyone says it is. It's a good game. It's not a great game. I think it's a good game. One thing I do really like is the driving. I love the driving. Driving's fantastic. I think they can make a whole rally game just out of the driving, or driving game. Just out of the driving from this game. So I really like it. A problem is that, like I said, even with the guns, now half the guns, so the first guns you get, the first half of the guns you get are really cool, and then the second half of the guns you get are from on the second island. They have the same sound effects, which further extends my problem with it feels like they copy and pasted the second island. Oh god. Now, obviously you see the graphics are really nice. The frame rate is, it's not smooth, it's decent, it's alright. It's nothing great. I'm gonna go to this radio beacon. Now it's kinda like Assassin's Creed, where you get the radio beacons, kinda like the viewpoints in Assassin's Creed. You can swim. I think the main problem with the game was it just got boring. That was my main problem with it. So, the shooting is good. It feels quite good. You know, pretty good. But like I said, it gets pretty boring because there's only a few guns that have different sound effects, and then like most of the guns have the same sound effects, so it gets a bit boring. And vines you can climb, which is pretty cool. I'd say I prefer Far Cry 2, and I think people are going to flip out, but I like Far Cry 2 a lot, because Far Cry 2 is very immersive. I liked the setting more of Far Cry 2, and I liked how everything was in-game. Let's kill these guys.
Shit! Help me! I haven't even started yet!
with Far Cry 2, obviously see here, you have to go into menus to get the map up. What I liked about Far Cry 2 was that you would just pull a map out, which would be really cool. And you would pull your GPS out. That was really awesome. I'm kind of sad they got rid of that. As you can see, they're kind of a little puzzly mini game. Just trying to get up here. Bit of platforming. I think the big problem I had with this game is that you could literally die from like falling about 2 feet. That'd be an issue. Die from like the smallest height. One thing I didn't like, I don't like this, is how when you do this, you do that, obviously you open map up so you can see the map. And the thing is, I think it will show you now. Radio tower activated, 2 of 18. And now I get a free gun. You get free guns. I don't like that. I don't like that. I want to buy them myself. It kind of doesn't really... You know, it kind of makes you rush to the next radio beacon just to unlock all the weapons really quickly. I don't like that. So you can do the zip line. Now, when you do a radio beacon, you also unlock these cool little side missions. So leave it down here. There it is. You got like, I don't know if it's always the same, but it's normally a vehicle mission where you got in the vehicle and you got to deliver something to somewhere in a certain time. And these are fun because the driving is really fun. Yeah.
Hey, fuck!
These are generally pretty easy, not too difficult. It'd be cool if you could like go into third person if you wanted to. Just heal by accident. Now I'm playing on normal difficulty because I've already played this game through on hardest difficulty, and I mean it's more annoying than difficult because one bullet will take your health down like in like one bullet. Your health will go down in one bullet, and so all you're doing is constantly putting syringes in your arm, and it gets really annoying. It just gets frustrating because there's no real way to dodge bullets. Obviously, it's not the Matrix. You can't dodge bullets. So that's annoying, and I'm just playing on normal just to see what it's like. I actually got every achievement on it on the Xbox version, but that doesn't mean 100% in it, I don't believe. You just have to get like half the collectibles for it to count. Now, obviously, the big talk was Voss. Oh my god, Voss, he's amazing! Amazing villain! Really? I didn't get that. He wasn't really good, in my opinion. I don't understand. Ooh, he's He's scary. Really? He's fierce. He's scum. Yeah, he's scum, but he's not really scary or, you know. He's not really. I mean, what does he do that any other villain does in any other video game? You know, he's not that scary, and he's kind of just like any other villain in any other video game. And besides, they kill him off like instantly. So it's not like he's in it even half again, and the guy that takes over him is boring. So I don't understand. I heard some people saying, "Oh, Vaas versus Captain Jack." Is it Captain Jack? Is that his name? Borderlands 2. Captain Jack. It's Captain Jack, isn't it? I might be wrong. It's not Captain Jack. I don't know what his name is. But the villain for Borderlands 2, there's no contest. Borderlands 2 villain wins hands down. Borderlands 2 villain is funny. You do actually want to kill him. Vaas doesn't really make me that angry because he kills your brother off in the first few minutes that you don't give a shit about. But Jack from Borderlands 2, I believe that's his name. He makes you want to kill him for what he does in that game because he does something really bad. If you haven't played it, I don't want to spoil it. And that made me want to kill him. But Vaas, he doesn't do anything that makes you want to kill him really, because the brother, you met him, you've only known him for 5 minutes. The character you play as, I can't remember his name. He's boring, he's a douchebag, nothing really likable about him. You know, he was supposed to be about him becoming a killer, and then he becomes a killer, he kills one guy, and now he's a killer. Obviously that's video games though. So, we're gonna go over to this mission. I just didn't find it. My main problem with this game is that it got boring. And like the first half of the game was fun, and then the second half it just got boring. It didn't do anything to shake it up. It just got boring. It's just boring. That was my main issue with it. Stories, nothing good with the story. Stories, combat is you know, it's normal combat. It's nothing great about it. You know, the weapons lazy because they use the same sound effects. And there's no real point to unlocking any of the weapons. You can literally just use this weapon, the first weapon you get for the whole game, and never upgrade it, never anything, and you'll be fine. One thing I did like about the game is the outposts. That was cool. That was cool. I really liked planning my, you know, trying to do it stealthily. You know, that was really fun. Taking guys out from far with bow. Then the takedowns are really cool as well. That was really cool. One problem I have with the game is that takedowns give you way too much experience. You might as well just, you know, I hate games where they're like, here, we'll give you a choice of what you want to do, but if you don't do it this way, you won't get as much experience. I hate games that do that. I feel like, you know, Far Cry 2 especially was take it from what angle you want to take it from. I feel like Far Cry 3 didn't do that as much, but it still did it, but not as much. Yeah, the story's not uninteresting, the voice acting's meh. the only good voice actor is Vars. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh. So I've got skill points. So you get skill points throughout the game. You just get them and you can do stuff. Takedowns. You can add more health, which I like. Improved hit fire. Let's add 1 health. And when you do this, you get an extra bit to your tattoo. It's called the tattoo, and you eventually, by end of the game, you will have it completely tattooed up. One thing I don't like is really that there's really not much to do in this world. This open world is here, but nothing really here to do. You know, it's pointless to have this whole open world and nothing here. It feels really empty. It feels like you're the only one here. If Far Cry 2 didn't have that problem, Far Cry 2 you'd go to a village, there would be stuff, there'd be missions, quests. In this you go to a village, there's like a hunting mission, which is like a bog standard challenge thing, not really that fun. So, that is basically my main things with the campaign. I do like the game, but you know, I liked it for the first 8 hours, and then it kind of got boring. I feel like it's very overrated. I mean, it's just not a bad game. It's just not as good as anyone says it is. You know, it's just. Oh, Jesus, I failed this. Can we restart this? Let's restart. You know, it's just. It just doesn't do anything that great. It just kind of feels. All the game is. It's just shooting in an empty world. It's just nothing great. I just don't see. I mean, there's barely anything to do. The story's there. The villain's meh. I mean, this is no, it just. Oh God, I've gone the wrong way again. God damn it. That's what you get when you're trying to talk about stuff. But well, I just think Far Cry 2 is much better. God. God damn it. Alright, screw this. I'm gonna go to. Now we're going to show off the multiplayer. For the multiplayer, I did like it. Main problem with it, not many people playing it. I don't think it has the biggest community as Far Cry 2. Oh. I don't think as big as a community as Far Cry 2. You can go on Far Cry 2 now, find people playing custom maps still. No one's playing this really. But it's when I first played it, I kind of liked it. But I like it, but it's not that great. It's It's just the bog standard, you know, average, mediocre multiplayer. I mean, all it is Call of Duty in Far Cry 3. That's all it is. Here we go. Found a match quickly. Obviously, we're going to find matches quickly because it's PlayStation Plus. Made a resurgence of it. You know, you set up, you know, your loadouts. Boring. Boring. Create new loadouts. You can have as many loadouts as you want. I'm just going to go over to a default loadout. That's my main problem with this game. Is that when I think Far Cry 3, all I think is, it just screams, main problem with it, boring. That's it. That's a problem. I think it's Far Cry 2 immersed you in this world. You know, obviously, it was kind of annoying to drive from point to point, but it felt like you're in this world, in the malaria. The malaria, yeah, was a bit annoying, but I liked it. You'd pull your map out. Everything was in the game. Nothing pulled you out. Shooting felt realistic. In this game, the shooting's good, but it doesn't feel like that's how you would shoot a gun. Like, it doesn't feel like that's how shooting is. But Far Cry 2 does feel like how shooting is. I like the rusted weapons.
It's up. So listen up, fuckers. This is simple.
So here's the multiplayer. It's normal. It's boring. It's normal. There we go. See.
Don't bother with the body bags.
I mean, the thing is, it's kind of fun the first time you play it, but I think every multiplayer is really. It's kind of fun, but then it really does, you know, goes mid.
I'm reloading.
You run out of ammo really fast. That was an issue. The movement kind of feels sluggish. That's an issue, I feel. And it's alright in campaigns. I mean, the sluggish movement in campaign doesn't bother me. You don't really notice it, but in multiplayer you do notice it.
Almost empty.
Like, that's the thing. The shooting feels really good, but it doesn't feel realistic. It doesn't feel. It feels like a game shooting. You know what I mean? Far Cry 2 felt like real world, like it would shoot like that. You know what I mean? It's hard to explain.
Ammo's low.
What's going on here? Whoa. Yeah, the ammo's a bit glitchy when you're picking up other people's. Yeah, that's the problem. Is it's really difficult to find more ammo.
Catch.
Once you're out of ammo, you're basically screwed. And you can mash X to cling for life, and I don't like this because it just put me in the game. I just want to be back in now. It gets, especially if you're doing bad. Especially if you're doing bad, and then that happens, and then it's just slow. You just want to get back into the game straight away. And it's annoying, and makes it even more annoying when people walk past you when you're on the floor and they don't revive you. I'd rather see.
Stop whining. Let's do
The
this.
maps kind of suck. You know, they're just kind of, the maps kind of ugly. Like, I'm not graphic wise, they just look ugly. I must have gun it. See, after all that, I die. It's kind of feels frustrating and it's kind of annoying.
Move it. Rebels got poison gas on the way.
There are kill streaks after you get a certain amount of kills, UAV, poison gas, and then like mortar. Well, I think you drop like barrels, exploding barrels from the sky via a plane. I like the gun animations when you're moving. That's kind of cool. I like that. I like the. It feels smooth. You know, like the movement.
The rebels just sent up some
This
scouts.
turning feels smooth.
Enemy poison gas about to hit. Get your asses out of there.
The matches are kind of slow. You know, they're not fast paced. There's no vehicles like there was in Far Cry 2, which is a shame. You can play on other people's custom maps, but there isn't enough really people playing custom maps. As you see then, I was just revived and then died instantly. That shouldn't happen. You should at least get a few seconds of immortality, but you shouldn't be allowed to shoot anyone while you're in immortality mode, because, you know, that's an issue with some games. Some games like Gears of War 3, when you spawn, you can't get killed for 3 or 4 seconds, but you can shoot anyone else. So that's an issue. One thing I liked about Far Cry 2 is that the world felt quite huge. Far Cry 3 doesn't necessarily. One good thing that came out of Far Cry 3, Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon was amazing. So, if I'm gonna say this now, if you're thinking about getting Far Cry 3, don't get Blood Dragon. Blood Dragon is much better. I really like Blood Dragon. Blood Dragon's amazing. It's only a few hours long, but it's really good. It's you know, it's a standalone game on the Far Cry 3 engine. It's a, you know, that futuristic, but like 1980s futuristic. It takes the parody. It's a parody of like 1980s stuff. It's fantastic. Even if you're not born in the 80s, you're probably going to love it. Because I wasn't born in the 80s. That's for sure. I was born in the 1997. Come on, save me. No. Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, you know, you could probably get It's 6 hours to do about everything, but you're gonna do everything. If you don't do everything, that's silly. Because doing everything is fun. But 6 hours, about... I mean, it took me about 6 hours. I beat games fast. I 100% games fast. It's 1,200 micro points. Well worth it. Buy it. It's a fantastic game. It's amazing. I tell you, this year has been a really good year for downloadable games. One good thing about Far Cry 3 I really like, the sniping's good.
Friendly poison gas is on the way. Scouts are up and watching.
In most console games, anyway, sniping, you know, is difficult. More difficult than PC, obviously. Battlefield is terrible for sniping. I can't snipe at all in that game. But Far Cry 3 I can snipe really good, because it's really good shooting, you know, it's smooth. It's really easy to snipe, but in a good way, you know what I mean? So if you were just revived, you can't get revived again. So let's get 4 kills.
Stop whining.
We won. So we won. At the end of the round, you can do the winner. The number 1 gets to do a special thing, taunt.
Hey, give me a hand. Hurry up.
What?
This is a good one.
Let's play.
So yeah. But that's it. It's basically this. There are different game modes, obviously. You know, conquesty type game modes. You just unlock weapons. You get like an RPG straight off the bat. Let's quit this. Annoying thing is, if you quit a multiplayer, it goes all the way back to here. Playlists. So there's Team Battle Mix. There's only 28 players playing this. That's bad. Domination. 4 people playing it. Only 311 people. No one playing that. No one playing that. No one playing that. 39 people playing that. No one playing that. Map is currently being beta tested by map players. So you can play other people's maps here, but no one's playing it, so there is these things called decoding. Now these are cool things. Decoder 1 is locked. As you see, basically what happens is you get these, when you beat multiplayer matches, you get objects and you can decode them, and once they've done decoding, you get like little rewards. So you know, it's kind of like these little, and at the reward can be anything. So it could be an XP reward on that one. It could be, on this one, it could be a medium weapon mod. On this one, it could be a high weapon mod. And obviously, the better the thing, the longer it takes. So it takes 3 hours for this one, it takes 1 hour for this one, it takes 30 minutes for that one, it takes 8 hours for that one. So you can just press it and it will be done in 10 minutes, real time. So it's a little thing to make you maybe keep coming back. Obviously, loadouts, you know, it's the standard thing. Primary weapons, you know, all that, shotguns, sniper rifles, light machine guns. Tattoo editor. Got to be level 40 for that. There's a map editor, which is, you know what the map editor is. It's a normal standard thing. It's basically the same Far Cry 2. I don't think I really need to go into that. What I want to go into, though, is co-op. Co-op sucks. It's terrible. It's the worst thing ever. First of all, the co-op actually has a story to it. It's not really big story, but you can't play the first one. You can't play them in order. It will randomly select what mission it plays. So it basically makes it pointless. You could... So there's 6 missions, I believe. I think they added a few for free, I believe. But there are 6 levels and they go in order for story. And there is a story that goes between the two. The problem is you can't pick number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I believe the first one I ever played was the last mission. So it already spoiled the whole story of the co-op. So I'm going to show you. So co-op, it has this little story here. 6 months earlier from the actual... Follows these 4 players.
Home ain't where the heart is. It's where they respect who you are. Well, my badge means shit now. You shoot a couple of sister fucking dirtbags in the back, and it's no badge, no gun, no pension. Just like that.
Aye, I was the head man till I slashed up the wrong cunt. A mate of my dad's, their captain took me in after that. Aye, that captain. But I'm off the skag and I still got my knife in case another wrong cunt comes round.
I'd still carry my M9 if I could, but crazies don't get to keep their guns. The general pulls a few strings and suddenly I have a disorder. Hell, we all have a disorder. How do you think we ended up in this shit?
I had to leave. People like me, they do not respect life. They respect the code. I broke it. Now I cannot go back. Not until I know I can keep my Katya and our daughter safe.
Just when we are doing right, pirates come and try and fuck our chances of ever having new lives. We wouldn't have it.
I headed straight for the money. Pirates were coming out of the fucking woodwork. But I could take care of them just fine. That wasn't the problem.
The problem was that motherfucking ship captain. That cocksucker sold us out. Took every ounce of cash we earned and sold the ship and every damn person on it to a bunch of candy-ass pirates.
The brass neck of that cunt. Come on then, you fucking ass. The captain was my dad's mate. Our mate. You just don't fucking do that.
Cut you, fucker! I'm gonna...
We had only one choice. Not to stay and be sold like cattle, but to fight.
As long as the captain's out there, the fight's not over.
Not until we take the money from his cold, dead hands.
Kill them all! Move! On it! Fuck up! Let's go! There's another! Heads up! Grenade! Take cover!
Let's be on with it then.
So, obviously, as you saw there an amazing CGI. Obviously, not what it actually looks like, of course, but you know, offline co-op. So if you go offline co-op, here's the problem: you can't actually pick what character. You can pick what character. You can play offline co-op, but you can't pick what level you want to do. So it's just silly. So let's go online. Let's go public. And obviously you can use your loadouts from the multiplayer. And the co-op is just terrible. The problem with it is it's just terrible. It's literally waves and waves and waves and waves and waves of enemies. If you don't have a full group, it is like ridiculously difficult. If you only have 2 people, you're screwed. It's ridiculously difficult. It's just silly. It's this kind of irritating, boring. Boring, there's that word again. It's boring, irritating, it's frustrating. It's literally just a shoot fest. That's all the co-op is. Nothing else. There's no real strategy. Enemies just come from everywhere. From behind, from front. Cheap kills.
I didn't see why we're getting an engine for this cunt and he won't even give us a ride over to get it.
You did see that big-ass pirate ship, right?
That thing takes a shot. We'd be nothing but barbecue dog food.
And personally, I'd like to keep my ass intact.
And may I say, what a fine...
Shut it, Leonard.
Hey, can we go? I'm fair scum at waiting you to stop playing me your fanny, so come on to fucking let's pike the fucking engine off the cunt so we can go off this fucking island.
He's Irish, as you can tell.
Well?
We move.
They don't really look like how they looked in the campaign, do they? In the trailer, in the thing. They look different. Choose letter, anything, I don't care. Yeah, he's Irish. He swears a lot.
My engine's shut. If you want off this island, your best bet is stealing another engine from the pirate scrapyard.
He had a shotgun and now he doesn't.
Unfortunately, they got a ship with cannons that'll shoot my baby out of the water. Get close, take it down, and call me for a pickup.
Not the craziest plan I've agreed to.
RPG, keep your heads!
RPG, watch it!
You've got this thing called Battle Cry,
Give them a quick death!
where you can, it basically just gives them, you know, like a passive ability.
Let's do this!
You know, gives him a health, just gave me health generation,
I have reload!
sped up my health regeneration. So,
Red up the place before we move on.
and I believe you can change what your battle cry is if you want to. As you can see, obviously, this one isn't too bad. But basically, the more levels you go on, they get poop. There's a few that are really good, like there's one where you're on jet skis. That's a good one.
We must finish this fight. It is better for us to kill than be hunted.
Because as you can see,
There! He carries a blade!
it's fine at the moment, but because we've got all 4 players. But if you only got 2 players, you're screwed.
There is no time for rest.
Which, when you think co-op, you think 2 people, right?
Here!
You
Oh,
don't
I
think.
found one. Ammunition
I
is
mean,
almost dry.
obviously 4 players, but you mainly think 2, don't you? You think couch co-op, maybe co-op 2 people. So it's basically impossible to play 2 players. So yeah.
We're going to have plenty of bastards coming at us. Let's see what you got.
I mean, it's fine. If you play this co-op first, it's probably fine. But if you've played through the campaign, then you've played the multiplayer, you'll probably just be sick of the co-op. You just won't even want to play it. That's the problem. But for me, anyway, if you find the campaign boring, you probably won't even want to bother. And then at certain points, there are these things where you compete against each other, and you got to get the most kills, and you get like a little bonus. It's kind of cool, but you know, it's co-op, not competing. You know, it's a thing. It's kind of weird.
I have reload.
As you could see, I am the best player in the game. Because I am Russian. And Russian like big LMG. Oh no, now I'm being beaten. As you can see, obviously, this LMG, you know, this iron sights, headshot gives you 5 points. It's kind of difficult to shoot, obviously, with the iron sights, how it is. For me, I mean, obviously the PS3 version probably has a worse frame rate. Than the Xbox version. I would advise installing it, definitely. Oh no! I'm being beaten. I want to win. Russians, do not lose. Oh, I think I lost. Oh, Russians don't lose. Have we got more? For me anyway, I like the PS3 version more because I like the controller more. Obviously that's just
Quick and painless.
Yeah.
Quick and clean.
That's just opinion, you know.
Reloading.
I'm gonna come for you.
Oh, I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win. I won. Russians win. Russian always win. Now, one thing you can't say about this game is that this game has a lot of content, obviously. It has the campaign, the co-op, the map editor, which I don't like. I like the Far Cry 2 map editor a lot more. The Far Cry 3 map editor isn't as good, in my opinion. And multiplayer. So, but overall, I think Far Cry 2 is better. Far Cry 3 kind of just feels like they dumbed it down quite a lot. It kind of feels quite mainstreamy, you know, definitely compared to Far Cry 2. You know, it kind of feels very, it
will be done.
modern eerie it kind of feels dubsteppy, if that makes sense. It just feels like, it's very 2012 when the game came out.
There, he throws Molotov. Right in the head. Keep your heads down. Big man gun.
Big man with gun.
A clean shot. Don't get your head blown off.
Don't blow your balls
This
off.
beach is a dead end. Only way to go is starting that generator and rotating that crane. Once it's turned around, we'll climb to the top and use it to zip line to the cliffs.
I mean, obviously, it's quite, the co-op missions are quite long. Maybe a bit too long, I think.
Look up there. The zip wire on the ship. If we make it closer, we can use to get higher.
Good thing is there are checkpoints in the mission. So don't worry about dying.
Ammunition is running low.
You can hold to heal. Healing takes quite a long time, especially compared to the campaign. If you've been playing the campaign, the healing will feel like it takes a year and a half.
I am low on ammunition. Ammunition is almost dry.
Ammunition is here.
Reloading.
Now, I think the main problem that everyone had...
Armored man is approaching.
Wait a minute. Kill this guy. Oh my god. Just die, everyone.
A good shot.
The main problem everyone had with this game was that, you know, they said, you know, he's never killed anyone before in the campaign. I'm talking about now. He's never killed anyone before, so you know, it means something. His first kill. No, he just kills someone, and then he's like, no, I'm gonna shoot everyone. So, you know, you could literally just get the biggest light machine gun in the game and just go mow down everyone. Which, that would blow his arm off, that gun would, because he'd never ever shot a gun before. You know.
Rest in peace.
I mean, that doesn't really bother me too much, but I can clearly understand where everyone's coming from. It is kind of ridiculous. And I feel like if they could have done it better, maybe it would have been a really cool story mechanic. You know, a really cool thing in the story.
Nice. Quick and painless.
Obviously, doggies are there. All the doggies.
Almost out.
You know how fire was a big thing in Far Cry 2? It still is,
Reloading.
but they don't make a big deal out of it. You know what I mean? The fire is as big, if not bigger, than Far Cry 2. It's just they just don't show it off as much. You know what I mean? And you can't necessarily use it as much.
Of course. Take no prisoners.
Oh dear. One thing I kind of like about the co-op is that the co-op, I mean, the map is large in the co-op. You go quite far. I like that. It feels like you're going a long distance. It feels like you're on quite a big mission.
All right. No hesitation.
Host migration in progress. Oh, is it restarting mission? Does that mean restarting whole mission? Or just restarting to the checkpoint? Now here's the thing, I kind of like it now.
All right.
because I haven't played. It's been about a year, almost, sort of. No, about 10 months. 10 months since this game came out. So, and since I last played it, so you know, it's kind of fun again. So, I was thinking about maybe playing the campaign again, but I know I'm going to get bored of it halfway through, because it's boring halfway through. Game of Dilemma. What the hell?
I am reloading.
Jesus. Gotta be honest with you though, it does. This game, I think this game has actually one of the best movements in a game ever. You know, it feels oh god, we all died. See what I mean? Sometimes it will suddenly hit you out of nowhere, a part of the game, a difficulty spike in the co-op will just hit you and your players. But I think we're going to leave it there. I'm not going to finish this. It's really long. An hour, 56 minutes. But that is my thoughts on the whole game. I do like it. I think the problem is that, you know, when everyone else gives the games like 9s and 10s and you don't think it's bad, you just don't think it's nowhere near as good as that. It makes you hate the game more for some reason. But other than that, I still like it. I still think it's a good game. I don't think it's a great game, but I still think it's a good game.
I found one.
It's a fun game for a part of it, and then it just gets boring. So the multiplayer is averagey. The co-op is kind of meh. And the map area isn't as good as... I just don't think it's as good as Far Cry 2. So that is that.